have a go at this. This is our dinner time location down at the beach, and it is seriously awesome. We are gonna chill out, set up lights, film dinner, but for now we're just gonna sit back, have a whiskey, chill. Like, we're all pretty exhausted after a big day, so let's just have a bit of downtime, and then we'll see you in a little bit. I like how everyone just goes silent when there's a camera on.
Oh no, sorry, I was just stuffing my face with the chill spat up actually. So much love. Oh my goodness gracious.
How'd you guys go? Heaps of fish?
So many.
Yeah.
So many.
Your reaction.
Yeah, there was all us. Have you seen the huge fish I got?
Yeah.
Check the
Yes. Yeah, no, I checked the SP.
Yeah?
Yep. That's exactly
Were you
what
impressed?
I was impressed.
I'm wearing a fishing shirt, so obviously I'm a good fisher.
It was clearly all you.
Exactly.
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to a clip of these two fishing. So yeah, as you can see, it was, they did heaps. Absolutely heaps. Mate, what have we got here? Aside from a fucking mess.
We've got cold trout ceviche.
Seriously, man.
It's fucking pretty.
Coming out awesome. This is wild.
Yeah, however we want to say it.
So, what went into it? I want to know.
We got fish sauce, lime juice, fresh squeezed lime juice, coriander, chilli, bit of sesame oil at the end.
Sesame oil is sick.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good. It just cooks itself. What's the verdict?
Holy shit, that is so good.
That's a win. I'll take that.
That's so good. I reckon I'm gonna nitpick. I'm gonna say it needs a tiny bit more salt, which I'm gonna put soy on.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? You're
yeah.
trying it?
I'm putting salt.
Just
well, I don't know.
like
I've never said to put salt.
I'm gonna total nitpick. Yeah. Like I'm that's just me being.
I'm hell keen for that.
So I'm gonna touch of that on there. That's like.
This is the additive.
Let's see, because I like whenever I get a recipe.
Yeah.
Whenever I get a recipe, I always get it and then go, okay, cool. That's a really good base, and then make something else. That's good. What do you reckon?
That was a win.
Oh my god! Seriously though, the actual flavors, salt aside, is like they're so good. This is kind of a bit of a behind the scenes thing because I usually just have like the camera pointing that way, but
iPhone 11 Pro Max.
to give you an idea of what we actually go through to give you an idea of what we do to make the episodes, one of the big things is light, and if you don't have enough light in your video, it doesn't work. Just the cameras struggle, everything struggles, so we have shitloads of light, which is these big guys, which are 240 volt lights that run off an inverter in my car. So it might look weird, but it's not. We don't do it because we're faking stuff. We do it because my cameras aren't good enough to film in just no light. Like, it just doesn't work. So, have you guys tried the ceviche?
Oh, not yet, mate. We're waiting for you. We're waiting
Get
for you.
into it. No, I've tried it.
No,
I've tried it. I've tried it.
Oh, she looks really good.
It's so good. It's so oh my
coral trout
I can't even like hold the camera without.
Oh, baby. Well done, Lamb.
So we're just having a chat about what we're going to do with the fish. They kind of roughly know what I'm going to do, but not fully. And we mentioned the coral trout skin, and usually we throw that away, but the boys, for some reason, threw it back in the esky, which is bloody brilliant because, well, I'm going to cut to it right now. So tonight what we're going to start off with is a bit of coral trout skin. So the ceviche, sorry, shit's going everywhere. The ceviche we had earlier, we've still got the skin, it's still got scales on it. You need to do this with fish with small scales, not big scales. This is, sorry. This is bloody delicious with the right fish. What we're going to do is put shitloads of oil in a big wok. Now, you do not need this much oil. for what we're doing. You need this much oil for what we're doing later. That's a heap of oil. That's a 4 litre bottle. I'd probably use 3 litres. Heaps of oil. Go put this on the fire, and then later on, it'll all make sense. Don't worry, I promise. Right, we've got the fire to 178.7 degrees. So I'm going to call that close enough. Now, once again, way too much oil in here. Doesn't matter, it's not the point. There's going to be other stuff in here. Grab some. Grab some.
What do we got here?
Mate, we got some fish crackle.
Baby.
How exciting.
Wow.
That's outrageous.
I'm so
I'm
ready
not
for
missing
it.
out on this. I'm not missing out on
You
this.
can be after me.
Bar out.
Patience
pretty
is a
good.
That's
virtue.
so good.
Oh my god.
That is the best I've ever had.
That is so good. Tastes like cooked.
Who would have
Right?
thought?
It
The
does.
usual throwaway fish skin.
Wow.
Probably one of the best
How much
parts of this
fish are
dish.
you throwing away? Like?
Every single fish I've ever eaten.
I'm gonna go. You're
Everyone
gonna go and
just
gloat,
watch that
and I'm gonna
oil.
go and make some more fish. All right, so entree's done. Entree number 2, actually. So we had massive plans to do massive feeds, but we're not actually that hungry anymore. We're still definitely hungry enough to eat dinner, but not hungry enough to eat everything we caught. So I'm gonna do some rice now as a bit of a base, and then we're gonna kind of build up from there. And until we get to the pièce de résistance, which is the bloody whole mangrove jack. Oh, can't wait. Hold on, I'll go get rice. You just sit here for a while with your jerry can and wait for it to fill, and then add the requisite amount of rice, which changes for every single follow the instructions to the back of the bag, or do what I do and just pour rice in with water and take it out when it's done. It's similar to my pasta technique, which is just taste it. There might be a more complicated, there might be a more difficult way, I don't know. But that's my way. Right, on the fire. The highlight of the bloody meal. Fish! Oh yeah! So, first step, somewhat dry it off. Spike yourself. This is the jack. Like, this is seriously, like, you have no idea how excited I am about this. I'm like unreasonably excited about this. Sort of dry it off a little bit, not excessively. Then, destroy your pantry, trying to find I think I've left the most important ingredient at home. I haven't! It's right there. Shit! He's back. Oh! I freaked out there for a second. I really freaked out there. Okay, I'm good. Rice flour. If you're celiac, gluten intolerant, whatever you want to call it, rice flour is great because it's gluten free. If you're not, still use it because it's just better for this kind of stuff. It has, the only way I can kind of think to describe it is like a rice bubble effect. You know when you've eaten rice bubbles as a kid, or Rice Krispies if you're in America or whatever, they kind of puff up and pop. That's sort of the effect that you get from rice flour, and it's really bloody good. So I throw that on, some pepper, salt, straight on. Now that is going to go into 180 degree oil. But before I do that, just gonna have that prepped. Sauce. Now the sauce is probably the most important part. Well, the sauce and the fish, they're kind of equally important. The sauce is so crucial because you can deep fry a fish and it'll taste like fish and chips. But if you want this to taste incredible, you need to make a good sauce. Okay, so what I've done is I've actually mixed up all the liquid ingredients for this recipe, and they're going to be on the screen just here. So all of those liquid ingredients that I've already pre-mixed, I highly recommend doing that at home because otherwise you have a whole bunch of bottles of things in your camp setup, which is a real pain in the ass. Doing it at home, yeah, just make it. So what you need is a couple of these guys. I'm making double the ingredients of the recipe you see below. The recipe you see below is for one fish. So you just want the kind of the good bits of the spring onions. Chuck them in your little tiny pot with a little bit of oil, and add to that some garlic. Now I think you know. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to check my own recipe. Yep. Cool. Bit of ginger and a bit of garlic. So you need 4 cloves of garlic, or 2 cloves for the recipe. But these cloves of garlic are gigantic, so I'm going to use 2. Because seriously, they are massive. Either cut them up super finely or use your garlic mincer crusher thingo. Gee, how big is this bloody piece of garlic? It doesn't fit in my garlic crusher. It's amazing. I'm not mad, I'm super impressed. Alright, I'm gonna go put that on the heat, stir it around a bit until fragrant. Okay, that's fragrant now. So what I did is I mixed up all the other ingredients, blah blah blah, and I'm going to chuck this on in there. Make sure it's all in together. That palm sugar will be separated a little bit. That's right. Outrageous! So good. Oh! I nearly forgot, actually, the most important bit. Chilies! You need chilies in there. You need fresh chilies. Chuck them in, and basically just get it hot on the fire, and you're done. And that's what makes this meal. You hear that? That beautiful sound of the 1HDT Toyota motor bumbling away. Well, that has had to happen because my batteries were really flat at this stage after running the 240 volt lights and all the other lights and things, as well as the fact that my batteries are pretty tired, to be honest, and I'm looking to upgrade them. But anyway, I forgot to turn my boom mic round, so it's usually I could deal with this sort of thing, but my boom mic was still facing the back of my car, which means it was facing my exhaust and you can't hear a thing that I'm saying. So what I've done is I've dropped that fish in 180 degree oil, and I'm going to leave it in there for about 8 minutes in total. So 5 minutes on one side and then 3 minutes on the other side. It's mostly submerged, so I really just flip it to kind of crisp up the fins and things on the other side. Now off to the side I've got some rice going, as you know, so I'm going to lay that rice out on the breadboard here, and that's going to be kind of a big absorption chamber, which is really, really good. Obviously I had a few tins at this point, so I didn't move the camera and actually get it in shot because I'm useless. And that's going to be where our nice Asian greens live. Now, I didn't record the Asian greens earlier. Well, I did record them, but my camera ran out of batteries, as you saw earlier, so I didn't actually get to show them on screen. All it is some bok choy, 2 bunches of bok choy with 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce and just a little bit of oil to fry it up, and I just fried them, or stir fried them until they were soft. move everything around, get ready to try and avoid turning into a human torch as I take off a huge fish covered in oil, dripping oil over a fire. Now, I've never actually managed to light myself on fire doing this, or catch the oil, but if you're not experienced, I highly recommend maybe try this a different way. So, for example, just bake the fish over the fire in alfoil or something. But I've done this a few times, so I'm pretty comfortable doing it. Although there was a funny story, I might say, another time where we did it deliberately and caught the oil on fire, and it was absolutely bloody terrifying. And we've got it on camera, so yeah. Now, finally, for the good bit, the sauce. Oh, look at that. Just pour a big, generous helping of sauce over it. It'll all soak into the rice below and go all through the fish and everything. And don't use it all. Just use a bit, because it's only going to lay on the outside on the skin. Now, I put some fried shallots or fried shallots on there. Just the packet ones, they're great. They're crispy and they give this beautiful salty and umami flavour. Now, here I'm threatening to put coriander or cilantro on top, and Critter is freaking out behind me because he absolutely hates it. But I understand that it's a gene, and some people have it and some people don't. Some people it tastes like dish soap, and some people it tastes absolutely delicious and refreshing. I am the latter. Now, this is the interesting bit. Tasting by memory, as I'm sure you can imagine, my memory is a touch foggy from that night. But I do know what this tastes like because I have eaten it before. So I've just come down with some forks, handing them out now. But because I'm a pig and I'm greedy, I'm going to have the first bite, I think. I can't actually remember. Let's see what I do. Yep, look at him, you fat greedy bastard, getting in there before anyone else. Now let's try it. Oh, what a gentleman. He's giving it to someone else. Now, get a bit of rice, get a bit of greens, try it. Be nice because you have no choice because you're on camera, and even if it tasted like shit, she'd still smile. I'm genuinely surprising myself here, handing it out and being a nice person and not having any myself. Usually I'm just shoving it in my face. But maybe it's because I realised about this point that I forgot to put ginger in the sauce and it didn't taste as good as it probably should. It was still bloody good though. Predictably, this is not the only fish we did. Later on we cooked the Spanish flag, and funnily enough we tried it side by side with that delicious mangrove jack, and we all preferred the Spanish flag. So there you go, one of the most underrated fish in the ocean. But I think that's probably about enough for tonight, so let's just cut through to the next morning. We've largely packed up and we're about to chuck the boat back in the water for one last fish. We're a little bit dusty from last night. We stayed up a bit too late, but definitely looking forward to another fish. We got some good advice from the owner of the property that we're staying on for a new spot, so should be good. Okay, that is it. That's the end. We ended up, something I didn't actually say is we got a whole bunch of Spanish flag. We got two coral trout, and we've still got the mud crabs from yesterday, which we haven't even eaten yet. So I'm going home with an esky full of fish and crabs to cook for dinner tonight, which I can't bloody wait for. Sam's stoked because she knows that she's got chili mud crab for dinner, and that's it. I gotta say thank you so much to Salty Isolation for this trip. You know, I've been fishing a lot in the Kimberley and I've caught a few fish, but nothing like this. This is what I had in my head when I said, when we knew we were moving to Kimberley. I was like, crabs, awesome fish, coral trout, you know, cooking on the beach. And I haven't been able to make it happen because of Corona, and you know, sort of it's been quite difficult to collaborate. But these guys just effortlessly made it happen. It's been so much fun. It's been beautiful weather, just a beautiful location. I mean, honestly, I just can't fault this weekend. So massive thank you to the boys at Salty Isolation. They've got some hilarious and really interesting videos. I really recommend their first one, by the way, on YouTube. So all their details are below. Chuck them a follow on Instagram, chuck them a follow on YouTube. Legends, absolute legends. Can't thank you enough, boys. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, I forgot to mention, make sure you keep an eye out for Salty Isolation's video. They're going to do a video on this trip, so make sure you watch that. Cheers.